Welcome to the Headlinesman. I'm your host, James Moody. I want to dive right into our Super Bowl recap and talk about a game that I actually believe was a pretty good game despite some of the stupid opinions out there. Now, when I talk about these stupid opinions, what I'm really getting at is just because a football game doesn't feature 159 points doesn't mean it's a bad game. What I saw in the Super Bowl this last weekend was two defenses who played phenomenally well. And to be honest, I was surprised. They played better than I thought they would, and they held two offenses pretty much in check the entire game. That doesn't mean the game's boring or it's a bad game. If you love football, you understand that those defenses did a great job at what they were supposed to do to win that game. So shut your mouths, deal with it. I'm sorry that you were bored and you couldn't, get over the fact that you just watch one football game a year and that's what you do. I don't care. As a guy who watches a lot of football, I thought it was a great game. I enjoyed watching it because I enjoy all of football, not just the teams that can score 75 points. Okay? I get that most of you are used to watching college football games which feature no defense. Okay? I'm sorry, Big 12 fans, but you guys don't know how to play any defense apparently. Okay? And I'm sick of people that are those types of fans that expect 59 points to win you a football game to get bored by a Super Bowl that featured 16 total points by both teams. Shut your mouths. It was a great game. Let's move on to it. I've got a couple plays I want to go over. Here we go.
All right, so this is play number 1 from the Super Bowl, dealing with players in a defenseless posture. So with this rule, there's two different parts. We have to kind of check the box on both of them. The first being, is the player in a defenseless posture? So the part of the rule we've got up on the screen here is number 3 we're going to look at. It's a receiver attempting to catch a pass who has not had the time to clearly become a runner. So that's the important part of that. If the player is capable of avoiding or warding off the impending contact of an opponent, he is no longer a defenseless player. So let's take a look at the play and see if that one checks off the box. So with this one, in my opinion, he has not had the time to establish himself as a runner. And so we can just check off that letter A as the first part. The second part to this, letter B, talks about the prohibited contact against a player who is in a defenseless posture. So really what this one is looking at is the actual act of the defender. Now the part we're looking at is number 1, forcibly hitting the defenseless player's head or neck area with the helmet, face mask, forearm, or shoulder, even if the initial contact is lower than the player's neck, regardless of whether the defensive player also uses his arms to tackle the defensive player by encircling or grasping him. So by rule, both these get checked off. A and B get checked off. This is a penalty. I don't necessarily like it, only because of the simple fact that it takes place behind the line of scrimmage. So why there's a difference there and why that makes a difference in my mind is the whole runner thing. Passes thrown behind the line of scrimmage, there's a lot more congestion, a lot more chances for guys to not have a lot of time after catching the pass before contact is made. That's the only reason why I don't like how this penalty is worded, is because of the simple fact it doesn't account for plays that occur behind the line of scrimmage and the likelihood that there's going to be more contact in a sooner and closer proximity. All right, so play number 2 in the Super Bowl deals with delay of game. The only reason why I put this one in here, because it is pretty straightforward, it's delay of game, and you'll see that with the play here in just a second. But I've got the rule of delay of game. We're going to put that on the screen here in just a second. But really, what is fascinating about this play is the fact as it rolls here, it will see there's delay of game and then there's a penalty occurring on the defense shortly after the delay of game. So with the rule of delay of game, we'll put it up here right now, is we've got the 40-second play clock and the 25-second play clock. The 40-second play clock starts basically after the end of a play. Okay, and then once the ball is marked for play, then it goes to the 25-second clock, and away you go. Okay, basically, it's delay a game if you don't get the ball snapped or in play by the time the 25-second play clock expires. And so you can see this is pretty straightforward delay a game. But like I said, the interesting fact of this is the fact that the Patriots were also offsides shortly after The clock strikes 0 on the play clock. Just really fascinating play. Officials did a great job. They got together, they talked it out, and they went over what they saw and what was the right call for that situation. So well done with the officiating crew. They did the job they were supposed to do on this one.
So with the plays that I picked out in the Super Bowl, I just wanted to get some variation, just kind of go over some basic principles, and just really. So with these two plays that I picked in this game, I really just wanted to show some variation, go over some basic principles, give you an idea that the Super Bowl generally was officiated really well. The officials did a great job. I'm happy that there were no controversial plays and that people weren't driven crazy by how the officials officiated the game. Again, still bothers me that people are like, oh, I was so bored. It was so boring. Well, deal with it. It was a great game. Okay, just because people don't score a bunch of points, I'm sorry. Have another couple beers. Get over yourselves. Okay? Enjoy the game. All right, moving forward, what to expect from us. We've got a podcast that will launch this upcoming week. Really excited about that. It's going to allow us to keep some of this officiating and referee content, as well as add some of the general sports theories and opinions that I have, as crazy as they might be. I'm excited to get that launched this upcoming week. Moving forward as well, we also will continue to have videos once a week where I take plays from various NBA games and throw them at you and say, hey, here's the rules. Here's what the officials were dealing with, and here's how it applies generally throughout the game of basketball. I'm excited about the basketball thing, mainly because I really enjoy watching the NBA. I think the NBA officials do a great job, even though I think they take a lot more flack than they probably deserve. It is what it is, right? Those guys do a great job, and I want to share that with others. So we'll see you next time. Look for those videos posted next week.